Welcome everyone. Today we are going to discuss about two-dimensional array. In the previous video, I have completed a one-dimensional array. So let us see this. First of all, what is two-dimensional array? A two-dimensional array will consist of both rows and columns. So whenever you see a figure having rows and columns, you will know that it is a two-dimensional figure. So here we are going to learn about two-dimensional array. So the syntax for declaring a two-dimensional array is, first you will write down the data type, then you will write down the array name, then within first square bracket you will write down the row size, then within the second square bracket you will write down the column size, and it should end with a semicolon. Now for example, int is the data type, that is all the elements of the two-dimensional array are of integer types. A is the name of my array. Then 3 means there are 3 rows and 2 columns, and it will end with a semicolon. So what will happen in memory? In memory, a 3 by 2 matrix will be created. So there are 3 rows and 2 columns. The first location is A of 0 0. Then second location is A of 0 1, 0 row 1 column. This one is first row 0 column, second row 0 column, second row second column, and third row third column. Here we are starting with 0, that's why we have written it as 1 2. Otherwise it means that the first row, second row, and third row. So this is how it will look in memory. So these are the elements present: 22, 54, 87, 1, 4 and 66 are the elements present. So this element will be 22 will be referred to as A of 0 0. A of 0 0 means 22. These are some random values I have entered. So whatever value you put here, that will be represented by A of 0 0. Now we are going to discuss about two-dimensional array initialization. We have already seen variable initialization. What does it mean? Assigning values to the variable at the time of declaration. Similarly, array initialization is assigning values to array at the time of declaration. So we have already seen how to declare array. So if we assign values to it, then it becomes array initialization. So here I am going to discuss what are the ways in which you can do two-dimensional array initialization. So first one is simply declare the array, then give equal, within curly braces write down the elements. 2 by 2 means 2 rows 2 columns. Total how many elements will be there? 4 elements. So I have included 4 elements. So 1 and 3 will be in the first row, 2 and 55 will be in second row. The same thing can be written like this also, that is the all the values of the first row within these parent loops, and then the next row in the another curly brace. Like that also you can write. Then the row size you can keep empty also. This is also possible. Only in declaration you cannot keep any of these things empty. Okay, any of the size you cannot keep empty, but in initialization you can keep the row size empty. So 2 columns are by default, 2 columns should be there, but the number of rows you can like you can have 1 row also, 2 row also, 3 row also. So here 3 rows are there: 1 3 first row, 255 second row, 1188 third row. Then I have told only the row size can be empty, column size cannot be empty. If this type of initialization is given, then you will get error because this is invalid. The column size cannot be empty. Similarly, this is also invalid because the column size is empty. Now suppose we have written A of 2 by 3 equal to 0. It means that it is a 2 by 3 matrix. So how many elements are there in total? 2 into 3, 6 elements are there. The values present in all the 6 elements is 0. Okay. So similarly here also 6 elements there, but only 1 2 3 is written. 1 2 3 means written means it is a row is 2, column is 3. So 1 2 3 will belong to the first row, then second row will be 0. If nothing is mentioned, it means it will be 0. Then last one you see 2 by 2. Total 4 elements can be present. but here we have 7 elements. So you will get compile time error because the size is different and the number of elements is more. So here you will get error. So this is all about two-dimensional array initialization. Now we are going to discuss few programs. In this video, I am going to discuss only two programs. First, we are going to read and display a 3 by 3 matrix, and then we are going to read and display a n by m matrix. That is the number of rows and columns will be given by the user. Let's go to Dev C++. So the first program is to read and display a 3 by 3 matrix. So how many total elements will be there? That number of total elements will be 3 by 3 means 3 rows, 3 columns. So total 9 elements will be there. So first we are going to write hash include stdio.h, write down main. Now first we are going to declare the two-dimensional array. Okay, 3 by 3. So int give any valid array name. So how many rows I need? 3. How many columns I need? 3. So the way in one-dimensional array you need one for loop to read and display the elements. Similarly, for two-dimensional array you will be needing two for loops, one for the number of rows and one for the number of columns. So for each of the for loop you will be needing two variables, that it be I and j. Okay. So the moment I write int a of 3 by 3, so 9 spaces will be occupied in the memory. Now we need to enter the elements into the array. So let us write down printf enter the array elements. So here first will be the number of rows. How many rows are there? 3 rows. So I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Then give the loop. Then we need to write down the number of columns. How many columns? 3 columns. J equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Okay. Now here what we need to do? We need to enter the array elements. So we are going to write down scanf %d. How we are going to refer to the elements? I have already told a of I and j. Okay. And then we are going to end it with a semicolon. So this is how we are going to enter the elements of the two-dimensional array. So what happens here, you see. First I equal to 0. I equal to 0 means we are in row number 0. 0 is less than 3, we are entering the loop. For j equal to 0, j equal to 0, 0 is less than 3, again we are entering the loop, where we are going to enter the element a of 0 0. A of 0 0 means which location? A of 0 0 means first location. So you will be entering some value. Okay. Now this loop will continue till this condition becomes false, that is we will enter all the elements in the columns of the first row. Okay, then we are going to go to the outside loop. Now j plus plus. Now what is the new value of j? The new value of j is 1. 1 is less than 3. Again we are going to enter scanf a of the value of I is still 0. A of 0 1. A of 0 1 means which location? This location. So here you will be entering some value. Again you increment the value of j. Now j is equal to 2. 2 is less than 3. Again you enter the element where you will be entering a of 0 2. A of 0 2 means what? Third location, right? First row, third location. So here you will be entering some value. Now j plus plus, j has become 3. Now is 3 less than 3? No. So we are going to come out of the loop and we are going to increment the value of I. So now what is the new value of I? I is equal to 1. 1 is less than 3. Again we are going to enter the loop. Again we are going to start from the j equal to 0. J is equal to 0. 0 is less than 3. So we are going to enter the loop where we are going to enter the element a of 1 0. The value of I is now 1, j is 0. 1 0 means which location? That is the row number. This is row number 0. This is row number 1. and this is the 0th column. So here you will be entering some element. Then again increment the value of j. So j is equal to 1 now. 1 is less than 3. Again you enter, where you are going to enter the element a of 1 1. A of 1 1 means this location, enter some element. So like that you will be entering how many elements? 9 elements. Okay, this is the way. Now after entering all the elements, you need to display the elements. So how you are going to display the elements? The array elements are, let us give /n. Why we use /n? To come to the next line. So again, if you want to display the elements, again you will have to write down 2 for loops. How many rows? 3 rows. Okay, j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. How many columns? 3 columns. Now here I'll have to write down printf %d. What value? It's simple, a of I j. Okay, now if I write simply like this, let us see what happens. Okay, I'll just delete this part. So if I write simply like this, so let us see what happened. First save it, run it, enter the array elements. How many array elements I'll enter? 9 elements I'll enter. So you see the array elements are coming like this in the same line. So, but what we need, after the end of each column, each row, a new line should come. So for when I equal to 0, after running the whole loop, then after completing the first row, I should get a new line. So here I am writing, after the end of the first row, I am writing here /n. Save it and run. This time you see, enter the array elements. These are the elements. So now see, it is coming in a nice matrix form. So this is how you can read and display a 3 by 3 matrix. If a 2 by 2 matrix is given, you will write 2 2. If a 2 by 3 matrix, then 2 here, 3 here. Okay, next program that we are going to see is that here in the previous program, it is also already mentioned in the question itself that you need to read and display a 3 by 3 matrix. Suppose it is not given the number of rows and columns, then how you will do it? There is a program is to read and display an m by n matrix. So we don't know the number of rows and columns. So for that we will need 2 more variables, row and let it be col for the columns. So first of all, when you run the program, it will ask enter the number of rows and columns, and then accordingly enter the array elements. Then the array elements are like that you will write. So printf enter the array elements. So sorry, enter the number of rows and columns. Enter the number of rows and columns. Okay, so next will be scanf. How many %d you will write? 2 %d. First %d for the number of rows. So I'll write %row. Second for column. Okay, now I know the number of rows and number of columns. The remaining things will be same, but instead of 3, what I will write here? What is the number of rows? Variable row is containing the number of rows. Similarly here col, and here again while displaying row, and here col. Okay, save it. In this program you see what are the keywords used. I am reminding again, int is a keyword, for is a keyword. Save it and run it. It will ask enter the number of rows and columns. Suppose I want to display a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, rows is 2, columns are 3. How many elements you will be entering? 6 elements, 3, because 2 into 3 is 6. Enter some values, 6 values. So you see the array elements are 2 rows, 3 columns.